I'm really in the transformation business. It's personal and physical transformation. I do like to call myself the Sweet Life nutritionist and behavioral coach, and I absolutely love what I'm doing. 3 years ago on St. Patrick's Day, I left my comfortable government job, federal government job, to go into business and to fulfill my lifelong dream, my 30-year dream of having my own practice. So this is my anniversary. I'm going to say, Yahoo! I'm very, very, very grateful. And every day I am learning so much. This is the biggest challenging opportunity of my life. And I really do appreciate our last speaker who was talking about prosperity, because this is really physical and mental prosperity that I work with people on. So I want to ask you a question about weight loss. And I know it's a sensitive topic, it's a touchy topic, but at any one time, 55% of Americans are trying to lose weight. And so let me ask you this. How many of you have ever thought of losing weight or ever thought that you might need to lose weight? Okay, me too. That's just almost everybody in the room, not quite. So, you know, in our society, it seems like appearance is just about everything. You see the pills, you see the supplements, and the celebrities. And you ever notice that whatever the celebrities are doing, they're always being criticized for not quite, you know, have they lost weight, have they gained weight? And if they look perfect, that's even worse. Then they're really bashed. So we have a way of being very much perfectionists, and yet almost 70% of Americans are overweight or obese. So it's a big conundrum. That's why weight loss programs are big business. But guess what? They are not as big a business as fast food. Have you ever noticed that there's fast food restaurants just about everywhere? And they get them started early. Way early. Happy meals, right? Fast food equals happy life. And then they develop these habits. So when, as adults, we've now got a painful habit that many of us takes a lot of time and effort to overcome. So I want to tell you a little bit about myself by telling you about one of my clients. Her name is Rose. She came from Africa 20 years ago. She was normal weight at that time. And what she does is she founded an organization to teach women from her home country how to be leaders. And she came to me up at the Power Conference in Bethesda last year. She said, I need to do something about my weight. And she was so ashamed of her weight. Her kids said, Mom, you look like a hippo. And that made her feel terrible. And her husband, she told me this later, but she and her husband used to argue about why didn't she lose some weight. And in fact, their marriage was just about to collapse. He threatened to leave her if she didn't lose weight. Not the best way to get motivated, but when she came to me, we discovered that she really had her own passion for wanting to look good and wanting to look professional. Because what she does is she runs an organization to make policy changes and investment changes in her country to help young women become leaders. So she has transformed herself in working together. It's so exciting because she started running a mile from her house and back every day. She quit drinking sodas and she started changing her portion sizes. She still eats her traditional foods from her home country, but she has done fantastically. And now her kids are saying, Mom, you look so good. Her husband is saying, yeah, way to go. She's lost a dress size. She was now wearing a suit she hasn't been able to wear in 7 years. And she and her husband are really getting along fabulously. They're very much in sync, in harmony now. And so she's just really, the best news, the music to my ears is she said, Kay, she said, I am so happy I could sing. And it was really a delight. She is, so now she's really proud of her accomplishments. And I am so pleased and so appreciative of what she's been able to do. And so I'll segue to my story, which is I was a stressed out yo-yo dieter for years. In fact, I'm going to apply for the Guinness Book of Records. Up and down, up and down, up and down, 25 times. I lost the same 15 pounds 25 times. And can you imagine the irony of a nutritionist and dietitian who couldn't control her own weight? Well, for me, it started when I was 8 years old, and I had a childhood betrayal that took me into a life of hiding and fear. In fact, our last speaker just talked about how toxic fear is, and that's what it was for me. I was hiding my shame, I was hiding my secrets, and then a number of years later, I looked fear in the eye and I said, that's enough. And I made changes in my journey to what I developed a system through my own journey, which I called my 3-5-2 blueprint to a sweet life. And that's what I use with my clients now. And so to get to our secrets, we're talking about 3 secrets to a positive, healthy life. I just want to do a quick setup for our CEOs in the room. How many of you have your own business? Almost everybody, I think, has their own business, or maybe you're going to have your own business one day. So last Friday, I was at a Women's Success Summit in Montgomery County, and Sandra Yancey, who is the founder and CEO of the eWomen's Network, was talking about living brave. And what she said is a year ago, she was in she was in turmoil. Everything had gone wrong. Her dog died, her mother was sick. But what she was really eating away at her is that she was taking care of everything else and everybody else but herself. So what was she? Instead of being a CEO, she said she was the COE. She was the chief of everything. And so what she advised, and I'm going to advise everybody in this room to do, is put yourself at the top of your priority list every day. Because yeah, sure, it's good to help others, but if we're on the bottom of the list, behind the dirty laundry, somehow it never gets to us. So what she said, and I believe is so true, is that self-care is not selfish. So, okay, so how are we going to do that? There's 3 simple secrets, but they are not necessarily easy. And something that I think you can easily capture is clarity, confidence, and direction. That to change painful habits, it takes clarity, confidence, and direction. And so what do we mean by clarity? I'm going to ask you to make a note of this. What we do, and I do a discovery session with everyone, is we ask you to think 2 or 3 years ahead. What is your vision? What are your goals for your sweet life, for your bigger future? And so what I'm going to suggest is you capture today at least one goal for your bigger future. And then what are the obstacles that are getting in your way? Please, want you today write down one obstacle that's getting in your way for a bigger future. And then how would life be better if you could overcome this chosen obstacle? So that's your assignment, that's your homework for between now and the end of today. Because people who write down their goals accomplish 2 to 5 times more than people who do not. And that's from Brian Tracy, author of Eat That Frog, and every entrepreneur should read that book. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So now we're segue over to confidence. What does it take? Our last speaker talked about the toxicity of fear. And so what it really takes to gain momentum, to gain confidence, is to have greater desire than fear. So once you know that you have more curiosity and you're moving towards your desires rather than avoiding your fears, then your confidence will snowball. The other key thing that I recommend and I do every single day is celebrate your victories. And people who do that are moving towards happiness and success. And the people who are going in the opposite direction, guess what they're doing? They're beating themselves up every day about how they didn't reach their ideals. And so this way leads to happiness. The other way leads to a very nasty place that you don't want to go. So if you don't take away anything else from today, it is celebrate every victory, every small, tiny victory every day. So there are other things we could talk about. Mindset is very important, but we'll do that another day. So then we're going to go to direction. So if you've got your clarity, you've got your confidence, but what are the right strategies? How do you do it? How do you change that painful habit? I'll just tell you a quick story about Stan, who came to me. He's a CEO of a home health agency. Actually, he's a COE, Chief of Everything. And he was totally stressed out. What he wanted to do was first thing in the morning, he wanted to get up and exercise. But he was exhausted because he never got a good night's sleep. So what he needed to do is change a painful habit, really not that hard to do, of getting better sleep habits. It was simple as for him, turn off the TV and go to bed. Then months later, he had lost 30 pounds, and he might still be a little bit of the COE, but he's working towards being the CEO instead. So we've got clarity, we've got confidence, and we've got direction. So those are some examples. So just to recap, what I want you to be doing, the 3 things that I want you to be doing from here on out, rest of your life, rest of my life, putting yourself at the top of your priority list. And second, write down your goals, because you'll accomplish 2 to 5 times more than if you don't. And the third, celebrate every small victory every day. Now, I'm a nutritionist. Why am I not telling you to eat your fruits and vegetables? Because those come later. You've got to get this down, the clarity of where you want to go, get the confidence that you can change a habit, get some direction, what exactly is it that you need to do. So with those 3 things, I'm going to leave you just by saying, I am not Jenny Craig, but I am a Sweet Life nutritionist that works to transform people's lives personally and physically. And so if you're interested in weight loss, if you're interested in changing a painful habit or a healthy lifestyle, I'd love you to come up and talk with me afterwards. I can give you my business card and we can have a chat. We can make a time to have a chat. So if you want more information, you can reach me at sweetlifewellness.com. And I thank you all very much for sharing this time with me. Thank you.